Have broken 4 to 5 lengths clear here, so the outsider, Sonny Liston, has possibly just forced Henry Longfellow to go a little bit faster than he may have wanted initially. Now they begin to hold station, and now Notable Speech closes up, trying no doubt to get onto the tail of Henry Longfellow as they bunch. Chazz in 4th place, held up, as was said, likewise Maljoom in 5th, and now Henry Longfellow can get a breather in and is slightly free of the attentions of Sonny Liston, who wanted to contest the early rounds but is now just half a length away. Notable Speech in 3rd, Chazz in 4th, and Maljoom as they're past halfway now, 3.5 furlongs to go. Henry Longfellow on the front end, Sonny Liston in 2nd place, Notable Speech in 3rd is poised. Chazz, white face, green jacket, Maljoom just beginning to push along, heading with 2.5 to go. William Buick on Notable Speech, still waiting for the cutaway. Which side will he challenge Henry Longfellow? Sonny Liston comes next, then Chazz, Henry Longfellow's having to commit. Notable Speech darts to the inside, Chazz towards the outside, Sonny Liston running a blinder. Notable Speech and Henry Longfellow, the 2 3-year-olds, but it's Notable Speech who's quickened up the best. Maljoom down the outside with a last challenge, but Notable Speech, no fluffed lines this time, wins the Sussex decisively from Maljoom. 3rd for Chazz, 4th place Henry Longfellow and Sonny Liston, who may have played fair part in that race. Weak in the market today, the result completely different from Ascot. Beautiful trail in. William Buick could probably hardly believe his luck, getting onto the back of Henry Longfellow, who was pestered early. Maljoom up for 2nd, big run for us. It's had issues down the year. Fair play to the yard there. Hasn't been easy to train. He ran well, so did Chazz. Henry Longfellow didn't really pick up. In truth, was a little bit disappointing, but he wasn't helped by the early antics of Sonny Liston, who dropped out to finish 5th. The Guineas winner bounces back after his Ascot disappointment and wins the Sussex for William Buick, Charlie Appleby and Godolphin.
Johnny Murtagh, the Guineas winner, back in business.
Yeah, I fancied him in Ascot. I thought he had a great turn of foot, but he got the ride, didn't he? He got the ride, he got the box seat, everything went right from, and the cutaway, Jason, he waited and waited and waited. When it came, the gap appeared, he was able to quicken through, and that's what he did in the Guineas. He had that turn of foot in the Guineas that set everybody alight. Didn't happen in Ascot, but he seems to be back to his best here today. But he got a great ride and he was in the perfect sit.
Hey, look, they're really quickening now, aren't they, as that cutaway arrives, and Buick full of pony as he goes up through the half furlong marker, even has the cheek to flick an ear over on the far side and has motored late on. Be interested to see that change of pace from the cutaway for that next half furlong. Very quick.
Yeah, and from the beginning, Henry Longfellow was never given an easy time, was he? Sonny Liston came up on his outside, forced the issue a little bit. I'd say Ryan would have liked to get a few cheaper fractions down the back, and then coming into it, I feel like they quickened a good way out. There he is, flicking his ears, Will Buick, pretty pleased with himself, and there was a good tempo as they were all going into battle, nearly all 5 of them in a line engaging, and it was a perfect ride, being able to just slip up the inside there.
And now we'll be paraded in front of the crowd. Chris on the left there, Emily Jarron, today's groom. Paul Edery, who we've talked about a number of times before, rides him on a daily basis, and then Will takes over on these big days. Amazing to think, as you said, Francesca, the first 2,000 Guineas winner to come on and win this since Frankel 13 years ago. And 17 years ago, 17-year wait for Godolphin. Ramonti, that was, 17 years ago. They win it for a 4th time. This is a nice touch, the crowd getting to salute.
No, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling to come back after winning this race, because, you know, these races are so important and they're so big for all these horses and the teams behind them. You know, you come here with loads of faith. There's Guineas winner after a really disappointing run in Ascot. Charlie sounded confident, but after last week, can you be confident? Or last run, can you be confident? But he was, and it's a great feeling for Will and the team and the horse himself. What a win.
And he was breaking the mould, Francesca, wasn't he? Coming in off the all-weather, you know, those wins at Kempton showing an electric change of gear, and he still got it.
Yeah, he took us a bit by surprise, didn't he, when it came to the 2,000 Guineas, because I don't think there'd been a horse that had prepped for a Guineas win by running on the all-weather. He'd shown blistering speed there, and he did in the Guineas, and then maybe he'd had a busy enough time, so come Ascot, he just wasn't quite firing.
And the key moment in the race
was a good result for Charlie.
The Sussex Stakes then does go to Notable Speech and William Buick. First of all, well done, Will. Couldn't happen to a nicer man. And this horse, he was so disappointing last time, and it was so unexpected. Charlie was so honest. He didn't know why. Did you feel like this was going to happen today?
Yeah, we were. He was just firing on all cylinders coming in here today, and look, he's a brilliant Guineas winner with a very rare turn of foot that you very rarely see, and he showed that again today. Look, I'm delighted, and full credit to the team, Charlie and the whole team. You know, they've done such a good job with him to get him back after a disappointing run in the St James's Palace, where we knew he was obviously too bad to be true. So, no, fantastic. He's such a brilliant horse. You know, he's a horse that really excites you, and it's a real privilege to be riding him.
Yeah, but of course you do your job too, Will. How pleased were you to just be sat behind the leader there? You knew that cutaway was coming, and he was just travelling so well.
Yeah, you know, here at Goodwood, jockeys will tell you you're sort of ready for various different scenarios, but when you have a horse like this with the kick he has, it makes the job a lot easier, and obviously the cutaway does make it easier as well. And luckily he didn't need much encouragement by my whip, because I threw that away following it up.
You didn't need it. A Notable Speech back with a notable win. Well done.
Thank you, Thank you.
He can wave at the crowd with both hands. Losing his whip in the last 100 yards, but it made no difference, to be fair. Weak in the market. Notable Speech won at 3-1. Maljoum will take our hat off to him. He's run a really good race in second at 11-2. Factor Cheval in third, for what it is worth. The ITV7 has not been won today. And when you look at race IQ, Johnny, it's that moment of the cutaway. He hit a top speed there of 41.1 miles an hour, 2 out, and then that next furlong he did in a fraction over 11 seconds, so he was motoring.
Yes, he has the pace, you know, and the pace is, you know, big factor around here. They went a nice gallop. Ryan didn't make it easy in front, but it was an even gallop, I thought, and he was able to show his turn of foot when it really mattered.
Good use of both hands in the end. Saluting the crown. Well done to Will. Back to the start, Johnny. Ryan would not have liked the way this played out early with Sonny Liston.
The start was funny because if Sonny Liston didn't jump with him, Ryan would have got an absolute dawdle on the front, and the other three in behind, they all looked like heading after you, and Ryan and Sonny Liston got a little bit of a toe away from them. I'd say he probably wasn't happy Sonny Liston was there, but I think after going 2 furlongs, the race did settle down, and he did get a nice enough run around, but he could have done with the first 2 furlongs being a bit more smoother.
Yeah, you're forced to go half a stride too quick in the early stages. Now they're settling into that rhythm, so we're going to rise up to the top of the hill, swing down in, but all very much in hand here. This is where the rhythm of the race, the middle part, everybody's breathing.
Yeah, rhythm the key word, because when Henry and Sonny Liston went forward, Will Buick didn't panic. He didn't feel the need to close the gap. He just thought he'll let his horse do that naturally, which has happened. Maljoum slow away again. The blinkers didn't help him out of the gates, and from last there, he then had to accelerate quicker or more than the others in front of him to gain a position, which he did really well. He rattled home from last position. Factor Cheval hasn't run a bad race either. But here is when the taps are really turned on.
Look at the jockey's body language. The only one really going is Maljoum out the back, and Ryan admittedly is under the pump on Henry Longfellow. So William switching, now he's getting up into that top gear, and it's about now as well that he decides, as he quite rightly said to us, that the whip goes away. He was going to give him a little flick. His ears were flicking back to him. 2 little taps, and there, just as he went to turn it over to tell him to gallop.
Notable Speech, the 2,000 guineas winner, is now a Sussex Stakes winner for trainer Charlie Appleby.
Notable Speech being covered in water. Charlie Appleby at the forefront of that process.
Thank you very much.
Charlie Godolphin have won many Sussex Stakes. It's a first for you, though, and really important to win this race with a classic winner.
For sure, as you and I spoke before the race, it's important for these classic horses to come here and hopefully bring that classic generation to the table where they deserve to be, hopefully, and going forward. And look, many people, and we're all asking the same question: what happened at Ascot? And I'm not want to sound like I'm trying to get a splinter of sitting on the fence or anything. We genuinely didn't really have an excuse, but we just felt we were very confident coming into today that the horse was in as good an order as he was going into the Guineas and into Ascot. And fair play to William. It was a ride that we sort of hoped would be that sort of copybook ride that you could go down there, get a pitch in behind what the pace would be, and the cutaway come into play. And the cutaway only comes into play if you've got a good horse underneath you, and that's what William had.
Going back to Ascot, did you leave that day gobsmacked?
Oh, look, disappointment always kicks in when you have an unbeaten horse and a Guineas winner beat. But as I've always been taught, and I'm very lucky to have a team, and most importantly is Harness Sheikh Mohammed behind me, in never look back, always look forward. So, take the positives out of everything, and we did. The positive was that there wasn't anything there. Had the horse had need to say, was lame or something out of the ordinary was there, then you'd have been disappointed with the result, but disappointed that you've got a bit of an uphill challenge in front of you. But thankfully there wasn't anything untoward, and we just kept pressing forward, as that's what we've taught to do.
Michael Tabor heard you talking to us yesterday, and he said that he felt that you were in a really bullish place with this horse, positive and forgetting about Ascot. Just moving forward now, you've got a fairly extraordinary horse. Didn't run at 2, loads of runs before the Guineas. Now he's a Sussex Stakes horse. What do you map out for him for the rest of the season?
Well, to be brutally honest with you, after Ascot, our main aim was to get back on track here. Going forward, will he stretch any further? I don't think so. I think William, I haven't had a chance to speak to him yet, but there's no reason to go beyond a mile. People might mention a Breeders' Cup mile. The one thing we have learned about this horse is maturing, and he's a very laid-back character in what you see going around the paddock and in the prelims. But at home, he's got his little idiosyncrasies there that just show immaturity, and that shows a typical 2-year-old or unraced 2-year-old that hasn't sort of been put into a system and comes late into a system, and then, like I say, from January onwards, he sort of was January, February, March, running once a month and then into a Guinea. So it was a quick and fast learning curve for him to get onto, and if anything, that's the only thing